Hi, fourth grade. So we have been talking about medieval art, and we're looking at illuminated letters today. So after you've looked over your assignment and watched the history and the videos, I want to show you how to create a lovely illuminated letter. So I'm going to use my initials, C, and I'm going to start off, the easiest thing to do is to just start off with a regular stick letter. And I'll show you what I mean. But I'm just using some regular drawing paper. This, even if you have copy paper or piece of white paper, whatever you want to, if you're painting it, you can use thicker paper. If you're just using marker or crayon, you can use thinner, like Xerox paper, whatever you happen to have. I'm going to start off, you might want to create a frame around your letter to add, where you can add some extra details. That would be fun. So I'm just going to do the thickness of my ruler here and create some lines all the way on around the paper. So at each edge, I just line up my ruler, make sure it's straight, and add a border. Creates a lovely frame for my letter to sit in, and some areas that I can add some more decoration to. Okay, so once you have your frame all done, then you can start creating your letter. So whatever your first letter of your name or first letter of your last name, whichever one you would like to do. I'm just going to start off, like I said, with a stick letter. So I start off with a big C. I want to take up quite a bit of space. So I just drew a simple C, and from there I'm going to build around it. So this is like my axis or my center point that I'm going to construct my letter. So I'm going to create, and I gave you guys a worksheet that shows you all kinds of ideas, but I like this sharp end here, so it's kind of a triangle shape. And then I'm going to pull my C around, and then same thing for this one. I'm going to leave it a little thicker here, and then I'm going to create a curly Q that I just follow and get thinner till it ends. Okay? You can do whatever you want with this. Now, oftentimes they decorated their illuminated letters almost as if they had jewelry going to a party. They were getting all fancy. And I might add a vine. Sometimes they added fruit. To add a vine, I just make a curved letter that stops, a curved line, I mean, that stops. Then I imagine where it picks up on the other side. Come over again, curve down, stop, pick it up on the other side, curve over and stop, and pick it up on the other side. Then maybe I'll make a little tendril. From there, I would add thickness now. So thick, get to thin, thicker, thinner, thicker, then thicker, and then down to super thin. Okay? And you would go back and erase these lines later, the ones that crossed over, you can erase those lines. And from there, maybe, I mean, you can make it a snake, but I'm gonna add some leaves to my vine. You could also add fruit. So if I wanted to make some grapes, maybe a cluster of grapes that's overlapping my frame, going behind here, you could add that. You can also add geometrics. So maybe I'll put a diamond here in my C and maybe a couple small diamonds on either side. Okay. And now I wanted you to do an image of something that started with your letter. For me, I mean, you could do cat, candy, but I'm gonna choose a cosmo because I love cosmos. That's a flower. It kind of reminds me of a daisy. So I start off with a circle, and it has like these jagged petals, and I think there's only like 5 petals, so it's an odd number of petals. But you can draw just about anything that you want. And then it's got some petal lines. Okay. Now, once you're done with this, you are going to be coloring this in. I recommend you use marker or colored pencils, but you can also, before you go to color it in, if you want, you can outline everything in Sharpie and then really set off all of your line work that you did with your Sharpie, okay? Being careful to not cross over, like here. Don't cross your Sharpie line over because you won't be able to erase that later, okay? I'm gonna tuck those grapes behind my C, so I'm gonna go right over top of those. All right, and you would just keep going until you have everything outlined in your Sharpie marker. Oftentimes they would add gold leaf, which is fine gold powder, to their illuminations to make them sparkle and look like they were actually glowing with light. You can use gold paint, or they even make gold gel markers or gold Sharpie markers. So if you have access to any of that, add some highlights of gold throughout your composition. Pick some things that you want to be gold. If it's the jewel designs of your, like the almost like bracelets up here that you want to make gold on your letter, or if it's the leaves, or maybe the geometric, something, pull out and make it a gold coloring of some kind that you have access to. If you don't, that's okay. You can also use just yellow to show the brightness of it if you don't have access to gold metallics. But I'm just outlining all of the different parts that I drew, and then you would go back in, like I said, when you're finished and add your coloring, okay? And you can also, like I said, you can add other details if you want to do Celtic knots. You can do something like that in each corner, which is a smiley face, and a smiley face. So you can do something like that all in each corner. You can make some line designs. Circle, 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 some repeating patterns, whatever you want to do to make your illuminated letter beautiful. The only stipulations I had was to make sure your letter is very decorative, and to add an image that starts with the same letter as the letter you are drawing. So I can't wait to see how you color these, and I bet they're going to be beautiful. We will be having a Zoom meeting. That's going to be a standing Zoom meeting every week. I'll have it set and I'll send you the info for that. So I hope you can join us. You can talk to me about your artwork. We can just say hi to one another. You can show me your progress for your assignment for the week, whatever you'd like to do, just to kind of touch base and keep up with everyone. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing your work. Take care.